and they're not being taken care of by anybody but themselves.
Why don't we talk a little bit about our wonderful state of Connecticut? We have a $1.2 billion debt, and the year is not even half over yet. And Mr. Malloy, when he came in, he was going to change things, and he had the highest tax increase in the history of the state last year. And we're still 1.2 billion in the red, and they don't know what they're going to do. He made an agreement with the state workers. He can't fire them. He can't cut their wages. They're going to get a raise for the next 3 years. So what is he going to do? You know, we never had an income tax. When Weicker put the income tax, it brought in $2.5 billion. We never had lottery and Powerball and the rest of them. And how much does that bring in? We didn't have the 2 casinos. That brings in millions of dollars every year. Where in the hell does all this money go? Ask these politicians. What happens to that money that comes from the casinos and the lotto or the lottery? It goes into the general fund. Well, where's it go from there? I don't know. I talked to a good old senator from Waterford at a pig roast one time. I says to her, what are you guys going to do about the bonding debt? And I think back then it was 15 or 16 billion. Now it's probably over 18 billion. Oh, that's no concern to worry about that. The hell, our kids, their kids, and their kids are going to be paying that. It's time to think about it. This Connecticut, the state of Connecticut is driving business out. People can't afford to live here. And what do you think Obamacare is going to do to this business, to business people?
Yeah.
Make it worse.
And these people sit back, well, we voted for Obama. He's got money on the money tree. He's going to give us everything.
What's this with the road tolls, highway tolls?
Oh, I heard about that today. Somebody wants to put the tolls back on.
Yeah, that they do.
Where will that money go? That won't go to
you know where it'll
roads.
Go.
It goes to the general fund, and
it'll go to New Haven, Waterbury, Hartford, and the rest of the cities.
But here in Connecticut, Connecticut's debt situation is the worst of the whole country, their debt situation. Retirement is one of the worst states for retirement is Connecticut. Okay? The financial status is the worst in the nation with a debt burden of $49,000 per person in this state. Everybody in this state owes $49,000 to the state.
How about adding what the federal government debt is on everybody?
That's another one too. And it says Connecticut's credit quality was rated 50th in the nation. 50th. Imagine that. And then Connecticut's Tax Freedom Day was the latest in the nation's according to the Tax Foundation. Connecticut achievement gap is the worst in the nation according to the Connecticut Council of Education Reform. The Fiscal Policy Report Card on America's Governor by the Cato Institute gave Malloy an F. So is Connecticut in trouble? I think so. United States in trouble? I think so. And most of it's because they're spending too much money and not cut spending. And that's what's killing it all. Spending money doesn't create the debt. Spending money creates the debt. Not taxing the people enough is not creating the debt. I think I got that mixed up too, right?
You're having a senior moment, Wally.
Look at California. I was listening to some statistics today about California. They got 10,000 businesses left the state of California last year. Where did they go? They went to Texas.
Texas, right.
Look at the states that are run by Republican governors. They're all in the black. They're saving money. Now I see today some of them are talking about doing away with the income tax, put it on value tax, or just raising the sales tax and doing away with the income tax.
You know,
you look at the states run by Democrats. California, New York,
Illinois,
Illinois, and good old Connecticut.
Yeah.
And just look at New London. How many years has New London been run under a Democratic control? Just think about it. And what's happened to New London? It's going down the tubes. You know,
I would hope so.
if you heard Obama's speech today, excuse me, and he said, you know, it's the pro-gun people that are drumming up all this business about going out and buying guns and buying ammunition. And it's funny because I had a gentleman come in my shop today, an older gentleman, never wanted to own a gun, never owned a gun. But he says, you know what? I'm going to take the course, and my wife's going to take the course. And when I get my permit, we're going to come back and buy a couple of handguns. I'll tell you something. Obama's the best salesman the gun industry has ever had.
In 2008, when they knew he was going to become president, sales went zzz.
Yep.
Now, here we are, 2012, 2013. The sales are going zip. They're selling millions and millions of dollars worth of weapons.
I think there was a place, a shop in North Carolina. Somebody told me 2 or 3 weeks ago, Friday, that did $1 million in one day.
Wow.
Wow.
But, you know, I get a kick out
Yeah, I mean, that's hearsay. Somebody told me, but that's what I heard it again today, same thing.
But here, I hear the anti-gun people saying, all these gun manufacturers, all they're looking out is for their own profit and to expand their wealth.
Who's buying up all the gun manufacturers? George Soros.
Well,
George Soros,
So,
yeah.
so maybe this is all connected, and then the Soros money goes right back to the...
But you know, these anti-gun people, why don't you ask them how many of them have a gun in their house or are guarded by people who carrying firearms? Ask them that.
Well, they showed on television,
If you're watching, answer.
they show on television how movie actors and actresses are saying we got to do something about these guns. But then you see the movies they're in, they're mowing down people by the thousands. By the thousands. And they're against guns? Look at the violence they're showing on television. But you can't stop that. That's freedom of the movie industry.
You know,
And they're doing it for profit.
history, you know, I don't know if you know about the Japs when they bombed Pearl Harbor, you know, and the Japanese admiral says, I don't think it's a good idea to go into the United States, land on California, because he said behind every bush there's a firearm.
Yep.
Okay? We have 80, I can remember back when Barry Goldwater was running for president and Roger Mudd was interviewing him in Arizona. Probably half these people don't know who Roger Mudd or Barry Goldwater was because they don't teach that history in school anymore anyway. But I remember the conversation, and they got out to talking about, he says to Goldwater, let's talk a little bit about gun control. So they did, and they said and a few things here and there. But the main thing that stuck in my mind was what Barry Goldwater said. He said, there's 80 million gun owners in the United States. And that was back when Goldwater was running for president, I think, in the 60s sometime.
Right.
80 million gun owners, and he said if they all stuck together as one voting bloc, there would be nothing that the government could do. Nothing. 80 million votes. But the problem is you got the skeet shooters and the trap shooters and the handgun shooters. Well, you don't need this, and I'm worried about my guns. We all got to stick together because this is going to be a tough time for the next 6 months. So we all got to work together. I think what we should do maybe is hire a good lawyer, a good attorney, and everybody's in the gun business and gun owners put a couple $100 in a kitty and take them to court like everybody else. You know, when I was a kid,
They're going to tax air soon. You're going to have to pay money to breathe.
Well, they're going to tax how many miles you drive your car. They're talking about that. Every mile that you drive, they're going to put a tax on that. They're looking at that, and I'm serious, all over the country.
you know, you talk about that smoke, wood smoke and stuff. I can remember when I was a kid, we never got a tick on us when we went in the woods. I never, ever can remember having a tick. But you know, every March or April, they burn the fields.
Yep.
You know.
We got a caller.
Okay, let them rip.
Hopefully they're communist. Hello, you're on the air, caller.
Yes, I'd just like to make a statement, and you guys could discuss it. I believe in the Second Amendment, although I'm not a gun owner or an enthusiast. However, I do believe that no citizen needs a automatic weapon or the automatic weapons such as the AR-15, nor do they need these big clips. These are just killing machines for humans. These automatic weapons are not used for hunting. So if you guys could try to convince me that we do need these automatic weapons and the big clips. Thank you.
Now wait a minute, caller. You don't know what you're talking about. Automatic weapons
Or banned.
are not banned. You have to go through the federal government to get an automatic weapon. That's a machine gun. That's a machine gun. See, you're just like half the other people. You don't know what you're talking about. A semi-automatic weapon, you keep squeezing the trigger. A fully automatic weapon, you just hold the trigger and it keeps firing. They are not automatic weapons. They are just like a 7.42 Remington. 5-shot magazine, you keep squeezing the trigger. It's not fully auto, sir.
Like I said, I'm not a gun.
Well,
person.
you should do a little studying before you make a remark, because what you said is not right. Anybody cannot own a fully automatic weapon unless they go through the federal government. It's a $200 tax stamp.
Listen, I want you to understand. I'm not against the Second Amendment. I believe everybody should have an opportunity to own a handgun or a gun to go hunting with. But I'm saying the type of weapons that were used in Columbine, type of weapons that was used in Sandy Hook, the AR-15. There's absolutely no reason for any civilian to be owning these type of guns.
All right, so they take them away. They take them away. What's next?
Well, listen, like I said, I'm not an anti-gun person. I'm just saying that these weapons are not needed.
I didn't say you were, sir, but I just want you to answer my question. If they take away the semi-automatics, what is next?
Well, there's so many guns in America right now, it's too late for them to even try to confiscate all them guns. I mean, one thing is I haven't seen Obama do anything to start taking guns away, nor have I even heard him say that.
You never heard him say that?
No, they want to regulate. They want to regulate, but there's been no mention by anybody to remove the guns from the American people.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling.
Thank you, caller.
Bye now.
Yep.
I'll let you turn your television back on, and maybe we could talk a little bit about clips, because you're not familiar, caller.
He's gone.
Okay, but he's watching us now on television, I'm assuming. But if
Flipping
you're not
the
familiar
bird.
with a weapon, you don't realize it takes like 1 or 2 seconds to take a clip out and put a new one in. And these people all, if they didn't have 30-round clips, they'd have 20-round clips or 10-round clips. And it only takes a few seconds to take them out and put them back in and go back to firing. So that's not the answer. The answer is the people. If a person is carrying a gun and does not have a license, he should be arrested and go to jail. If a person uses a gun in a crime, even though no one gets hurt, he should go to jail for
20 years.
10 years.
20
Okay,
years.
20 years.
20 years.
If he uses a gun and kills somebody, he should be executed. That will stop people from using guns in crimes and murdering other people. This young man that killed all those 27 people in Watertown, Newtown. If he didn't have a gun, he would have got a bomb. This person was out to do something, and he would have did it another way. Maybe not with a gun, but maybe with a bomb or an automatic pistol, or not an automatic pistol, but a pistol. But he would have found another way to kill these people. And, you know, like in China, just a short while ago, a guy went and attacked a whole school with a knife and cut throats and everything else. So he didn't have a gun, they'll find a way. These people have a problem, and we have a problem in this country, because you can't say anybody if they show they're having problems in school and all that. You got to be very careful how you handle it. And that's one of the problems. This kid that did these murders, he should have been in some kind of education school with his own problem. He should have been out of the regular schools and everything else. Would you agree with that, Mr. Marie?
You know, and I'll tell you what I think another big problem with these kids today.